Okay, welcome to Lights Camera Barstool. Today, me and Gooch, we're not going to be able to review the full slate of movies that we initially promised. I realized after the fact, when we said we're going to review like four-ish movies, that I was going to Savannah last weekend, and I was just like, I'm not going to have time to catch up on all these. There's just no,
Did
no physical way.
did you see them though?
Did not see them in Savannah. we were,
You didn't see the bananas? Come on. Why
uh,
else would you go to
the
beautiful Savannah,
bananas.
Georgia?
Yes, no, we did not see the bananas. But Savannah, by the way, incredible city, fantastic place. I could go there
It's a
a
great
thousand more
place.
times. I love any city where there's like a shit ton of green. You know what I mean? And they love green there.
Yep.
Everything's like planted. You know what I mean? Love that.
Popular place to shoot movies too.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a few over the years shot there.
There, Atlanta, obviously all the studios there and tax breaks.
Yeah.
So yeah, great city. I decided I was like, you know what, fuck it, we'll drive down. It'll be fun. It'll be nice. Like we'll stop
Mhm.
some places. It'll be cool. Not as fun as I thought. It was
No.
I-95 is the most maybe soul sucking highway I've ever had the misfortune of driving my entire life. It was tough. It
Yeah,
was 13 hours
that's a
down,
tough
even
one.
more up. But still fun. Anyway, we can get into our movies and news. First of all, you will be doing Black Bag because Black Bag is like the biggest star of the entire weekend anyway, and I've seen that. I saw that a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, you've seen Black Bag, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just
Oh
making sure.
yeah. I took my
Yeah,
lady out, had a nice little
good date
date.
movie.
Great date, we'll talk more about that, but yeah.
First up, the first teaser for Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another. When their evil enemy resurfaces after 16 years, a group of ex-revolutionaries reunites to rescue one of their own's daughter. Leo, Del Toro, Sean Penn, Regina Hall, pretty big cast. And Paul Thomas Anderson's first movie since, God damn it, Licorice Pizza.
Licorice
But yeah,
pizza.
yeah, been a hot minute. And Alana Haim also in this one too. So the teaser, it's really quick. It's like 20 seconds, if that. Just like a couple shots of like a few people just blasting off RPKs into the distance or something, like,
Mhm.
and just looks cool. Someone tweeted this. Fuck, I wish I remember I saw who did it. They're like, it's almost jarring seeing a PTA movie that's set in modern day at this point. Like when you see, you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, what the fuck? So yeah,
It's his,
very excited for this.
his first modern day movie since his non-period piece movie since Punch Drunk Love. It's been that long.
Damn, that's like
Yeah, it's
20,
crazy.
20,
Yeah, 20 years, 23 years.
yeah, something like that. Damn, a while. But yeah, really like the trailer
Hmm.
or teaser, whatever. We'll have a full trailer. By the time this drops, you'll probably see a full trailer.
Yeah, I put out a most anticipated list at the beginning of the year. I wasn't sure at that point. This was still being reported as delayed into 2026. So the fact that we're even getting this year at this point, so excited. Immediately, my number one, I think, number one or number two most anticipated movie of the year. It's definitely like my number one most anticipated Oscar movie, despite it's a blockbuster for all intents and purposes. This is a $120 million movie. This is big fucking movie. Um,
Mm.
love PTA. I love how he takes time making these things. They always lose money, so we can expect that.
It'll be good.
It's also his second adaptation of a Thomas Pynchon novel. The
Yeah,
last one being Inherent Vice. And so I was looking through that novel that this is based on. It sounds a lot like that. I think there's going to be a lot of people coming in and out that aren't reported on the cast yet. I will say one of the like 6 names so far reported as confirmed in the movie is a female rapper named Jungle Pussy.
that's
I
kind of that
swear,
sounds like
I swear to God.
that sounds like
Her name is Jungle Pussy.
that sounds like a character from like what do you call it, Tropic Thunder, like Al Pacino as
Yes,
Jungle Pussy.
yes. Or like Austin Powers.
Yeah. Jungle Pussy. Jesus Christ. So
But
that
no,
is
yeah, this is. Go ahead.
no. Just to say that's one battle after another. Looks good.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped for that. I think this is if the lines were open right now, I think PTA would be the betting favorite for best director. He's been long overlooked, and it feels like this is a spot where he could really get it. Especially like right now, there's not a ton of other stuff that's been
and
popping
like
out
Leo
as
and
like
Del Toro
things
both
people are
pretty
really
widely
looking
liked.
forward to. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. We got our first teaser for the Toxic Avenger, set in a fantasy world following janitor Winston Goose. Great name. That should be one of our fake like reporter names, Winston Goose. After a freak accident transforms into a mutant vigilante known as Toxie, armed with the mop, this unlikely hero battles freaks, gangsters, and corrupt CEOs. While trying to save his relationship with his son, directed by Macon Blair, who did Green Room, which excellent movie. Peter Dinklage,
Mm-hmm.
Jacob Tremblay, Kevin Bacon, Elijah Wood, all in the cast. This movie's been like marred down in the mud for a while. I think it was supposed to come out in like 2023. Just been
Dude,
shelved.
longer than that.
Yeah.
Longer than that.
Speaking of
They
which,
announced this because it's a reboot of an 80s pop property. There'd already
yeah,
been 4 of these made. I think this is actually like a continuation reboot kind of thing. Might be. It's definitely some sort of reboot, but this was announced in 2010.
yep.
Guess who was initially attached to star in it?
I remember it was like a bigger name, if I remember correctly. Who was it?
Fucking Arnold. Arnold
Okay.
Schwarzenegger.
Was it? Oh yeah, keep.
Yeah, they went from Arnold to Peter Dinklage. I don't think you could make a bigger jump.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So I guess they filmed this in 2021. Damn, it's a long time ago. Shit, man. But yeah, that's a while ago. But yeah, so Toxic Avenger.
The word has always been good on this thing, though.
Yeah, that's true. Everything I've ever seen about it has been like, oh, it's fun, knows what it is type of movie, which
Mm-hmm.
I am always a fan of, especially in the comic book movie world, which is very, I don't know, they get lost in the sauce a little bit
Yeah.
sometimes. We got the first trailer for Together, which is this movie has been talking about positive word of mouth. Like this movie's been getting a lot of it, a lot of people talking about Together. A couple
It's still at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, right?
yeah, and every word I've seen tweeted, written about it, it's all been like, this is awesome. This is a really good movie. This couple moves to a countryside. A couple's move to the countryside triggers a supernatural incident that drastically alters their relationship, existence, and physical form. Directed by Michael Shanks, who's not like doesn't have a huge filmography or anything. Big 2 stars, Alison Brie and James Franco, who are married in real life.
Yep.
And so like there's that element of it, them being married in real life and being together in the show. Or in the movie, and apparently, again, all the word of mouth about this mega positive, and the trailer looked good and freaky. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a great trailer. Even before I really knew much about the movie, outside of it premiered at Sundance and had good word, the trailer's awesome. Didn't give too much away. Horror always seems to be the genre where they're really good at cutting their trailers and not like just spoiling the whole fucking movie. Yeah, body horror is usually not my go, but the way people are talking about this, I'm pumped for it. Neon bought this for $17 million, which is a crazy price tag for a horror movie out of Sundance.
It is a cast. I'm assuming the production couldn't have been too crazy because it's like just 2 people, and apparently, like from all there's the cast list is not big.
There's one other cast person that I think is like confirmed, at least when I was looking at the Wikipedia. It's Damon Harriman, who's the guy who played Charles Manson in both Mindhunter and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So I was thinking it would be very funny if he just shows up for no reason. I'm still alive, bitch.
Has Manson, I love that.
Wait, is Charles Manson still alive?
No, he died a few years ago.
Okay, yeah.
We had the first trailer for another big first one, Materialists. Lucy's expertise in matchmaking and as a highly sought after service by those willing to pay a premium, including the elites of New York City. At one of her clients' weddings, she meets Randy, a millionaire who happens to be one of the groom's best men. The same wedding, she also encounters John, her waiter slash struggling actor ex, who she dumped but couldn't move on from. The three will become entangled in a toxic love triangle that could jeopardize Lucy's career. And her clients, Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, and Chris Evans. Celine Song in her first movie since Past Lives. Yeah, I guess that's just her thing now. Is she's a love triangle person. She like that's going to be her. Like you doing these 2 back to back is like, oh, you have a type, and it's doing these I don't know how to explain them exactly, like women's city fantasy movies. You know what I mean? And Past Lives, fantastic movie. This I don't think has that same juice, but I'm hesitantly interested, especially because Dakota Johnson, I really just do not care for, but every now and then, like what's the movie she did a couple years ago? She'll throw out like a randomly good performance, but she's just like one of those actors and actresses to me that just like
Cha-Cha Real Smooth.
Yeah, So just one of those actors and actresses to me that seems like wholly disinterested in the art of acting. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
kind of like Gwyneth Paltrow in a way, who just by the way just talk
Yeah.
about how badly she wanted to. She called ISO. I saw someone do that. She called ISO on Timothy Chalamet from her intimacy coordinator. She's like, yeah, get out of here, get out of the room. We're fucking.
Well, I love Gwen. She's just like she's never home. Like there, she's never home upstairs. Like she
No,
just has no filter, saying whatever she thinks.
and does not
But
care
yeah,
for
no,
acting
no,
at all.
yeah, no. I think Dakota Johnson cares about the industry. I think more than she maybe cares about because she does interesting things. Like she almost exclusively works with female directors, which is I think kind of a interesting thing about her. Whereas like a lot of you know female actresses will speak up about it, and then Natalie Portman will never ever work with a female director. So it is kind of interesting. She's conscientious at least about this stuff. She picks terrible projects all the time.
Yeah,
Terrible. But then, like you said, occasionally there's a diamond in the rough. Here, this is just a weird casting. I think was it you I was talking to about like the Dakota Johnson Pedro Pascal like relationship is just that's not a believable
no,
relationship
not at all.
in any way, shape, or form. Uh,
No,
where and I kind of worry about them. Like Celine's songs, I think Past Lives work so well because you had John Magaro, who looks, I mean, like one of us. You had Greta Lee, who's very gorgeous, but she's dolled down there. And the home friend, what was his name?
I forget
Son,
his name. I forget the actor's name off the top of my head.
third actor. I'm sorry to you,
But yeah,
you wonderful Korean actor. You were great. And then swapping, I mean, these are pretty close to, if not A list, I mean, these are three A list actors.
two.
It's kind of hard to ignore that when you're watching it.
Yeah, I would say Evans and Pascal are definitely up there. You don't make
Yes,
Madam Web and walk away A-list.
Dakota Johnson's, I think, a bigger celebrity than she is like a celebrity actress. If that makes it like
I think if you
she's
I
got a
think
fandom, but I don't
if you
know if
asked 100 people on the
I
street,
don't
right, like 90% of them know who Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal is. Like 30% of them know who
50,
Dakota Johnson is.
30. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's fair. That's still a big star. I think that also plays into. I don't know if you saw the react. People are like, film Twitter lost their minds over this movie
in
for
a
like
good way.
a good
I didn't
24
see very much.
hours. No, like they like after loving Past Lives and banging the table for Past Lives 2 years ago, all of a sudden they're like, "This is gonna suck. This looks like shit." Well, I think you should maybe don't like these actors.
I don't I
Uh,
do think that Chris Evans has another like
I think
level
Chris
to him.
Evans will be really good.
Yeah, I think he has another level to him. I don't think this is the type of role. This feels like
I
like
think it is.
I don't know how to explain what this movie looks like to me. It's almost like it looks like you know when you go to those burger places with like the industrial feel to it, you know what I mean? But you're still getting the same exact burger that
Oh
you're getting
yeah,
at
yeah.
fucking McDonald's. That's what this feels like to me, where it's like just a really dressed up version of a food that's exactly the same as a different food, and you're just paying the high premium in this case for not really
Hmm.
much else other than atmosphere,
No,
which like is going to be beautifully
that's a
shot. I
great
have no
comp.
doubt. So, but yeah, that's what I feel like
That's a
watching
really
the
good
trailer.
comp.
It's what I feel like watching the trailer for Materialists. We had the first trailer for Happy Gilmore 2. I'll be honest, I didn't have pretty high expectations for this movie. It's directed by Kyle Newacek, who did not do the first one, but he did direct almost all of Workaholics. I think Parks and Rec,
He's
What
the
We Do in
fourth
the Shadows.
workaholic.
Yeah, he's like the workaholic. And
Yeah, like he was in that group, which is so
yeah,
funny to think that there was like three guys like they're picking straws. They're like, who gets to be on camera? He
yeah,
just gets left out.
and he did What We Do in the Shadows. He also directed what I would say is the best Happy Madison movie in a long time, which is Murder Mystery. Uh, and so that's just another thing to
Oh,
keep in
I didn't
mind
know that.
with Newacek. The movie itself, all the returning cast members, but also like a pretty huge like cast list on top of that. Like, let's see. Basically, the entire golf world is involved in one way or another. Like the list is insanely huge.
Hmm.
Like every famous golfer is in this movie. Eminem's in it. Travis Kelsey, Reggie Bush, Becky Lynch, the wrestler, Dan Patrick, of course, uh, Margaret Qualley, Benny Safdie, Nick Swartzen, Bad Bunny. It's like a crazy, crazy cast list. And this is
Yeah.
what I'll say: watching this trailer, I went into it thinking This might be another like happy. My cat's playing the piano right now. I don't know if you could hear that. Did that come? I don't know if that came through over the microphone, but he's just like stepping on the piano right now. But yeah, I went in this movie thinking like this might just be another kind of Happy Madison cash grab or whatever. But I liked it. I liked the trailer. It had like a little bit of heart to it. It looked maybe too polished, is my only complaint. Like, you know what I mean? Like watching some parts of it, but it looked like it had a little heart. I kind of dug it.
Yeah, the digital age has not been kind to comedy movies. There's something about it, like just shooting on like these just cheap digital cameras that I don't know that like shouldn't affect it. You know, like in your brain,
It
you
does
shouldn't
though.
be bothered by that, like comedically, what like from a comedic standpoint, but it does. You're right. This, I just like, I have zero hope for it, and like the trailer gave me nothing. Like the biggest concern for me, even before the trailer, was like that cast list. Like it's cameo slot fest can work in a superhero movie. I do not think I've ever seen it work in a comedy movie. Like where it's just like people
Um,
cameo, like not like cameoing as characters, cameoing as themselves, cameoing, yeah, as
cameo. You got it.
themselves.
I'm trying to think because I feel like the Happy Madison does that a lot, like with cameos of athletes or whatever. But it might be just
Yeah,
overplaying
but
how many.
they'll usually have them come in as like a character.
It'll be like Officer Dan Patrick, or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Yes, yes.
But yeah.
Um,
Anyway, that
yeah, no, I want it to be good. If you don't root for Sandler, also awesome by him. I think his daughter has like a major role in this movie. Which, yes, get your daughter's careers off the ground. I actually thought that the Bar Mitzvah. I didn't really think it was that good, but it was cute in terms of a streaming movie.
yeah,
With
I liked it.
like his daughter star. Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome
Uh,
family man.
yes, for sure. Cast his wife and stuff too. Wife, daughter,
Yeah.
anyone. If you're related to the Sandman, you're getting work. Same thing with shoot, what was it we were just talking about? His brother-in-law or like his nephew-in-law or something
Oh
was
yeah, his
directing
like nephew is like yeah, he's been a writer or director on like half of the Netflix
like
movies.
exclusively movies he's made. Like it's crazy. Yeah, if you're related to Sandler, you're in great shape right now, or just over the last 20 years anyway. That's Happy Gilmore too. Good news for the Oscars. Conan's back, which is awesome. That's like a no brainer. He is just like the most perfect. Like I don't want to say inoffensive because I feel like that's like there's a negative connotation on top of that. But like he's the perfect
Mhm.
like everyman host. You know what I mean? Like he appeals to the most people, and he's not gonna make like some crazy sardonic like swing like Gervais to like shit on people, which like some people want for sure. But he's also like not going to go down the gutter war of like which he did like maybe once during the Oscars. Like, oh, here's my political theorem. Here's my this. It's like he's
Yeah,
not. He kind of appeals to everybody, and I really appreciated that about his hosting job.
yeah, he was phenomenal. He should be the one. It's the best they've had since. Honestly, can't remember the last like really good one. I mean, he was really good. So I would love to see him do this for 5 more years if they
Yeah,
can get him locked in for that long. And also Nikki Glazer coming back for the Golden Globes, who I thought was pretty good. Not the best they've ever had, but pretty good. And I
she's
would
solid.
sign up for 5 more years of her too. Um, they've both struggled, so
For
they
the
could really
Globes, I actually
use a
preferred
steady hand.
Gervais just because it's like a big drunk Hollywood party. You know what I mean? I think that makes sense.
Exactly. That was
But
my
yeah,
big issue with Glazer. I thought she was a little reserved. She
mm,
was funny, but like you said, the Golden Globes, it's a drunk ass party event. Um, don't be scared to like play into that.
yeah. And Gervais, I guess at least like Glazer's still definitely way more of an outsider to the that world than Gervais was to the world at that time because like he might not have been like that huge in America, but he was at least like one of the top names in England. You know what I mean? Like he had at least that level
Hmm.
like of notoriety in that world, and that obviously a lot of people at the Globes are
Yeah,
English, so that helps. So I don't know. Maybe that helps a little bit. The last episode of White Lotus, fucking awesome. It's let me tell you
yeah.
something. The last episode of the White Lotus, when you're watching that monologue from wife guys Sam Rockwell, and you're sitting it doing it, watching it next to your Asian wife, it's uncomfortable. It, it was not a comfortable
I was
time to
watching with
be.
my Asian girlfriend.
Yeah, not a comfortable time because I watched it and I fell asleep while she had finished it. And she's like, "No, you're gonna want to watch it." And I was like, "Okay." And because it was like Saturday or Sunday night or whatever, and I finished watching it together with her, and it's just like it's not comfortable. No, it's not good. But like, outside of that, fucking crushed it. Sam Rockwell, just like I was like watching the Bib interview. I think it was on Cohen or something like that. She was like, yeah, he was filming in South Africa and he just flew in like last second, just nailed it and left. He was just done. He's that good of an actor. He could just jump in and just crush one of the most insane monologues where he's going back up against Walton Goggins, who you want to talk about actors having a great just sort of moment in the cinema world. Like people love Walton Goggins. He is like the star of
Mm-hmm.
this like series of every series he's been in. Like everyone loves him, and he just walked in, sat right across from him, and stole everything from him. Stole everything from everyone in that show. It's like, look at me, I'm the fucking man. This is why I'm the big ass movie star with all the nominations. And like, man, he crushed. He was really good.
Yeah, no, I was pumped for that. I had the second Leslie because I think I'd mentioned this to you before, but that gym I used to go to in New York City, they went there all the time, same time as me every day. So I'd see Rockwell and Leslie Bibb together. And so when she got cast, I was like, well, Rockwell's got to get a cameo at some point. He's got it.
Yeah,
So initially, I was just going nuts when I saw him pop up on my screen. And then, like you said, he starts going to that fucking monologue about wanting to get fucked as an Asian woman. I was just like, oh, and yeah, you're right. Ate it up. Incredible. I'd love for every year from now on, at least one time of year, we get a wife calls their husband or a partner calls their partner to show up just one day on set out of the blue and just eat a scene alive. Because we got it last year with Civil War when Jesse Plemons
yeah.
just got the call, just showed up on set and
Crushed.
delivered one of the scenes of the year. And we got it again. Do this every year. Every year, I want to see it happen. It's awesome. And the
And not
episode
talking
outside
about
of
a good
that,
episode.
very good. Yeah, very good. We got some closure on a lot of these storylines. The incest, crazy, crazy. I did not think Lachlan was going to be the one going in for the kiss. That was crazy. Um, can't wait to see the fallout from that. We got an all-time picture. Mike White gave
The
us an
Duke.
all-time picture with Jason Isaacs in the Duke shirt holding the gun to his head.
Like
That's
I
going to be
know they
used
didn't
for
think about that.
eternity.
I know they didn't think about that when they did it, but fuck, that's gonna be funny.
I don't know.
Like,
Mike White's kind of an online cheeky guy. He might have.
let's see. I'll look. I'll double check him. Oh, I looked up Mike White college, and I got Mike White, the fucking football player, the backup for the Jets. That makes sense.
What if he went to UNC?
Yeah.
That'd be very funny if he went to UNC and he just put that in the universe.
No, he went to Wesleyan. No, yeah, no, he's not a college. He can't be a college sports guy in Wesleyan.
Maybe not. But still, yeah, that's just a great image. Trying to think of what else happened. And then the three girls, the three best friends storyline. We got to see Carrie Coon, some great drunk acting. Just like every single time the camera panned her, she was doing something hilarious. Got to see her boobies. That was nice. Love you, Carrie. And yeah, Michelle Monaghan. Also just having kind of a moment.
Yeah, well, big time in that episode. Big time. I saw people complaining, like they're like not real life complaining, but narratively complaining, like why is she fucking the Russian guy that she was trying to set him up with? And I saw a person quote tweeted being like, look, if I offer you the plate, if I offer you the plate and you let the plate get cold, I'm gonna eat it.
I saw that.
Like, yeah. That's fair. Did you watch the newest Righteous Gemstones?
No, I just started it. I started it last week. I started the show completely.
Oh, the show. That's
I'd never
right. I
watched
forgot about that.
I'd held off for a long time, for like no reason really. And then finally, once I saw Bradley Cooper had cameoed on the premiere, I was like, all right,
unbelievable cameo too.
Right. I got to get to the Bradley Cooper cameo.
That's episode one of
you can go. So. You can talk about spoilers. I'm about done with season 2, so I'm kind of ripping through it.
There's
it's
no
great,
crazy
though.
spoilers.
It really is.
Episode 1 of this new season is like it's like completely different than everything in the series, like just set in an entirely different period. So like that was crazy, but this newest episode's like back to kind of normal. So that was very, very it's still a great show. I'm jealous you get to watch it for the first time because there are some scenes in that show that are so goddamn funny, man. Are you on season 2 yet?
Yeah, towards the end of season 2, so they are. I think what just happened.
Where they have a dinner and they talk about how BJ and Judy got married at Disneyland without everybody is so fucking funny. Yes. I rewatched it like 1,000
That's like
times.
towards the beginning of season 2.
Yeah, where he's like, "It was Prince Eric married us for your information." Who the fuck is Prince Eric? He's like, only the best
He's the
looking boy
hottest
from.
prince.
Yeah,
It's like,
that actor is so fucking funny. I forget
that
his name.
actor is so funny. Yeah, dude. Him and the
Uh,
Judy actress are great side characters.
Edie Patterson might be like the funniest woman alive. She's so fucking good in that show. Everything she says is like a laugh out loud funny line. Okay, so that's Righteous Gemstones. Now we can talk about Black Bag, movie that I think we, at least when I first saw the trailer for it, I was like, oh shit, espionage movie coming from Soderbergh, yes, no matter what. And then Presence comes out a few months ago. Presence, one of the best movies of the year, and then it's just an entirely different movie in every possible way than this. And I'm just like thrilled to go into it. Go to the screening of it, fucking awesome time. I'm curious if it lived up to the expectations I gave you guys for it, but I loved Black
Mm-hmm.
Bag. When intelligence agent Catherine Woodhouse is suspected of betraying the nation, her husband, also a legendary agent, faces the ultimate test of whether to be loyal to his marriage or his country. Directed by Soderbergh, screenplay from Kep. Fassbender, Blanchett, Tom Burke, Marissa Abella, Renee Jean Page, and Naomi Harris. Which Naomi Harris, she just doesn't age. It's crazy. She looks exactly the same as she did in like 28 days or 28
Mm-hmm.
days later. It's insane, dude. I don't know what you just
Yeah.
fucking need the regimen. But okay, so Black Bad though, it is a tight, sexy espionage thriller. It fucking rocks. I loved it. Pretty fast paced. Doesn't really like let up too much. And I loved every sequence. And this is basically just all a big dialogue movie. It's not like some like big shoot 'em up whatever. It's all just really tense dialogue sequences. All great. Shot really well. Like I mentioned to you guys, the opening one are insane. It's a good movie. Great time at the theater too. Like I'm glad that you mentioned it's a great date movie because that's something I thought that I obviously couldn't confirm. But yeah, really like Black Bag.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely a date movie. When you told me, just the general premise and kind of your thoughts on it, I immediately got 2 tickets for me and my girlfriend, set up a nice little reservation beforehand, nice little movie and a dinner date. And it was, yeah, no, perfect for that. Told my parents to go see it. They loved it too. Definitely a movie for adults. And I think, younger people too. It's Soderbergh really captured kind of the pacing I think a lot of these movies need in this day and
Yeah,
age. Like it is, like you said, everyone is calling it tight. That's because that's exactly what it is. Not a wasted second on this movie. What is it? 90 minutes long. Feels
yeah,
like
like on
60.
the
It feels
dot
like an
almost.
episode of television. Feels like an episode of television. So it's really tight, well constructed. It's not like the most original thing. Like this is something we've seen before. I'd say. Pretty basic plot line wise. Um, but like all the technical elements are so good that it makes it stand out quite a bit. Like you have two of the best actors of their generation, if not the actress of her generation, actor maybe in general, Kate Blanchett, and then Michael Fassbender, who's on a return right now,
Thank
who's
God.
always just phenomenal, and it's in his wheelhouse too. Both these roles are right in both of their wheelhouses. And then I thought the supporting cast I thought was phenomenal. Tom
Really
Burke,
good.
I am fully bought in on him. Fully bought in on him. I think I'm gonna watch that show he's on, whatever industry I think he's been on.
He's good in that. Yeah.
Or is that yes?
Wait, am I
Like
thinking of the
I
right
want to
thing?
see more of him. He's got the or Marissa Abella's in industry.
She's definitely in industry
Um,
because she's but he might be too. Why am I fucking that up?
I think
I'll
he is
double check.
too. He also played I know he played Orson Welles in Mank, if
That
you remember
I can
that.
totally see that. He's definitely got the Orsonian big face. Tom Burke.
But no, he's really good. Like
Oh,
he
he was
was
Praetorian
phenomenal in
Jack. That's what I was
Furiosa.
forgetting.
Yeah, he was in Furiosa last year, so that's what like really piqued my interest because it's not an easy movie to act in those Mad Max movies because you don't get a lot to work with. He was really good. He's great here in a completely different setting, and now he's got the Blade Runner series coming up,
Yeah.
which I wasn't too pumped for, but now I'm like, this is interesting now. He was great. Marissa Abella, I thought was phenomenal. Reggie Jean Page, who I haven't seen in forever, but I was worried. I think we talked about it. But last time we saw him in an espionage thing was The Gray Man, and he was terrible in it. He was great here. This is a really good movie. It plays to like everyone's strengths. It moves really nice. Like I stepped out of the theater. I'm like, is that the best movie I've ever seen? No, but it is far and away, I think, the best movie of the year at this point. I could see the argument for presence, Soderbergh's other movie, but those two really stand above the rest.
Mm-hmm. Tight production too. He always comes. He's like one of those under budget type guys.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think it looked.
edits his own movies. It's crazy.
Gene Page too. By the way, this is a movie where I watched it and I'm like, this guy should be in a Bond movie. You know what I mean? Like in Gray Man, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
but in this movie, I was like, oh, he's got it with that 3-piece suit. Everyone looked sexy as fuck in this movie. There was not a everyone was the hottest human alive in this. It made no sense. Even down to Pierce Brosnan showing up for like 3 seconds of screen time, just looking handsome as fuck. But they all had beautiful. They looked great. It made them, I feel like, act better. I don't know how to explain it, but like it's such a silly, dumb, like MacGuffin presence, like you were saying, right? Where it's like, oh, we got a virus, we got this thing. It's like, but you don't even care about that because that's not the interesting part at all. You're not focused on that even in the slightest. It's all about who's the reveal, who's deceiving who, and everything about it was great. Really,
It's
trying to think of like
almost
anything
like a marital. It's like a marital drama in a way. Like it really is like kind of just focused on like marriage and like the things we keep from each other. Like that's kind of the core of the movie, but then it's just dressed up so hot that it makes it so much more accessible.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of any cons. I think the only thing I wrote as a con was early in the movie there are some like regional accents, and British are tough.
Yeah,
especially when you start using technical jargon, like you're talking about like spycraft shit, and like that's already another level of understanding. And then you're using like some whatever Northumbrian accent. Like I missed at least a third of what that sentence was, and I'm just hoping it's not that important later. But that kind of tails off.
Also, Pierce Brosnan, I forgot to bring up. That just reminded me.
Yeah, same before. He showed up for 3 seconds, but just looking sexy as fucking left.
Looking so hot. Does like one little scene where he just eats it alive, where he has to like he kind of gets caught in the web, and his like eye just kind of twitches a little bit. He's so good. Yeah. I love him.
He looked great. Everyone looked great in this movie. I would sign up for him to make like 1,000 of these type of movies. You know what I mean?
Now, does Soderbergh have?
Soderbergh have anything?
He's got one more this year.
God,
I think he's got one more this year, which is insane. But I mean, you got to do. Yeah, he's got the Christophers. It doesn't have a release date yet.
Ian McKellen, Michaela Cole, James Corden. What the
James
fuck?
Corden? What the hell?
The fuck? Estranged children of a well-known artist employ a forger to finish his incomplete paintings in order to sell them. So I'm assuming.
Okay, that's funny. That could be funny. So James Corden as like a fail son to Ian McKellen.
Yeah, that's actually a perfect fit.
That plays. That kind of plays.
If I remember correctly, I relate McKellen to Stewart. Didn't Patrick Stewart and James Corden have like a massive, like very public fight?
Corden and Stewart?
Yeah, like
it
was some
sounds
sort of award ceremony. I think it was like an award ceremony, and like they just went like back and forth, but like in a very mean way. But I forget what it was over. I can't remember off the top of my head. But he was just basically calling Corden a fatso loser, and but I forget exactly what happened after that. But anyway, that's did you have to show up?
One of the things he said, from where I was, I could see your belly. I was right from the back of the room.
It's good shit from McCard right there. Good volley. But yeah, that's.
Do you want one more?
Yes.
He followed it up with, "Do you want one more? If you fancy one of the Jonas Brothers, cover your belly."
It's good shit, Patty. But yeah, that's by the way, that's another Professor or Magneto, Professor X combination into Fassbender. Yeah, it's all coming together. People in movies work together.
Yeah.
But yeah, Black Bag, really enjoyed it. Would sign up for a million more movies like this. Anything espionage thriller tight should be easy. And there are a lot of very generic spy movies out there. For example, we mentioned with Renee, the fucking Gray Man.
The Gray Man.
It's a lot of slop out there. This is not slop. This is meticulous, well thought out, looks great, sexy, easy to watch. Really enjoyed it. What'd you think of that one in the beginning where they lead up into Gustav Skarsgård? I love that.
Oh, it was great. Yeah,
all the way down into the club, and then back out at the club and the outer skirts. It looked great.
They shot that apartment beautifully too. There's a lot of really cool stuff that they did in that confined space.
Dude, that house was gorgeous. Holy shit! How much they paying spies?
Oh, perfect. I know. Had like the perfect mixture of like homeliness and like modern art. Like,
Yeah,
it's so nice.
looked fantastic. I felt bad for the actor that plays the Russian spy is in Warrior, and I really like him. The guy who gets just fucking obliterated. But I forget his name off the top of my head, something Irish, but he plays an Irish guy in Warrior anyway. He's really good, and I was like, oh, nice, he's gonna have a big role in this because I looked up obviously the movie specs before going in, and then he's just nope.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even see him talk; he just gets destroyed. Poor guy. But yeah, Black Bag, really enjoyed it. Really looking forward to anything else Soderbergh's got up that whether or not it's about with including James Corden. I think for next week we'll try Novocaine and maybe Electric State. You said you tapped out after an hour, right? Electric State, I gotta.
Yeah. Which is like I almost, I mean, not to toot my own horn, I almost never tap out on a movie. It's bad in a way that's just like so boring and like mind writing that I didn't even like. I had it on. I pulled out work like 30 minutes in, and then like 30 minutes after that, I was like, I can't even like stand to like really hear this in the background. Like it's not good. Like it was just very uninspired. Like it's I don't know what audience they're trying to capture with that movie.
The funny
really
thing about
don't.
every time they have a movie come out is just the movie will come out and then Joe Russo will go on a press tour just saying stuff that everyone hates.
Anthony's got to fucking murder him. Tony, shut your brother up. He's never the issue. I don't think I've ever seen him give a quote.
Never.
Joe, what do you do? Like, Joe, shut the fuck up.
You know what's weird though? We've interviewed both of them twice. And both times they talk like an equal amount. It's just for some reason only Joe goes out and does like these separate interviews. You know what I mean? But like when they both talked, like
That was also something happened to them shortly after your interviews with them, which was like right. I think you guys interviewed them before in game and after in game, correct?
I would
It was a
say
lead up to in game and then after in game.
I think we interviewed them for Cherry and possibly the Gray Man.
Oh, maybe it was around that time then. So I will say they used to not be like this. It was like after they got those big Marvel Avengers movies under their belt, they think they're the like Joe at least has like he's got this image of himself. I don't know. He's got this. Well,
Yeah.
he can change. He can change. Just stop saying stupid shit, dude.
Someone mentioned that like they're really good at taking over. I don't know if I saw this on a tweet or article. Yeah, good caretakers of like something that's already established, which obviously that worked. They made two of the most highly successful from a financial standpoint movies ever, period, all time. And we're great with Captain America. So I mean, I don't know. There's something they have a skill. There is no doubt in my brain about that. It's just they need to find the right avenues, and I feel like that this was never in a great spot to win because it's something about like Millie Bobby Brown, another person who just needs to not talk as much in these interviews because she's like just going to interviews and being like, yeah, I don't watch movies, I don't like this stuff, I don't enjoy movies. It's like you don't ingratiate yourself to anyone doing that. I don't think so. I mean, it's just tough.
And I will say, she did not look like she wanted to be there one bit. She was checked out. So not as checked out as Chris Pratt, though. That is the most checked out performance of the year by far. That is Dakota Johnson, Madam Web levels of like, what the fuck did I sign up for? When is the shoot over?
Which, by the way, I saw they're now only just filming the Terminal List season 2. Which, by the way, Terminal List was good. That was a good series.
Oh, okay. For some reason I was thinking the Citadel with the Russos.
Oh no, that's a
Terminal
bad
List
series.
was. Yeah, I was like that. I've heard that was terrible. Terminal List, yeah, no, that was good. I watched like 4 episodes of that and then kind of tapered off, but I liked what I saw. That was wait, that was like 5 years ago.
It was a while ago. Like I'd say like probably 3 years ago, something like that. Terminal List was solid. Tomorrow War was also good. Like Chris Pratt's got some good stuff.
Good.
Yeah, which by the way, another movie which we thought was going to be dog shit, and that would turn out to be solid. But yeah,
could you blame us?
Citadel, and they made Citadel Diana too, one for Italy, and it was also bad. None of it they established this massive, super expensive spy universe, and none of it was good or established yet. They're like just so desperate for these weird IPs, which I don't know if you saw that, by the way. They apparently Apple TV spent $1 billion or losing $1 billion every year
Yeah.
on their original programming,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
not
crazy to me
shocking.
because they're one of the few ones that they make almost everything they make for the most part, comparatively to other streamers anyway. They make a lot of really good television series. And they make like I would say less decent movies, but like mostly their series are really good. It's just no one watches them because I don't know if not all people have Apple TV or just they're that bad at marketing them.
And it's weird because I don't think they care about the losses one bit, just based on
No.
like how they spend on these shows. They're more or less, I think, just trying to get relationships with these like really high profile people and also market Apple as a product. Get people to buy Apple phones at AT&T and T-Mobile and get 3 free months of Apple TV with that. Like it's a marketing arm, which is always a loss.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't think they care about this. But like, spend more money on marketing. I think you like market your fucking shows. They're good. You've already spent $1 billion on making them. Just spend an extra 500. You're a $1 trillion company.
Just
Get some marketing
baby.
for these. Like Severance is like the only one I think people know about right now.
And you don't even
Severance
have
and
to
Ted
like,
Lasso.
and that's because those shows have like better word of mouth and like maybe viral marketing. Do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do that, man. Go fucking do something
Mm-hmm.
with viral marketing. Get it out. Get the word out there. Get clips out there. Get one of those Chinese bots that just posts part 1 of 5,000 clips of episode, and get that. That honestly works
Yes.
on me 9 out of 10 times. I'm not not even exaggerating. Like I'll
Mm-hmm.
see a clip of a movie or something, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I want to watch U751 with Matthew McConaughey because I saw a clip of it, one 30-second clip of it on a random account that only posts clips of that movie. So that works.
Actually watched a movie last night that I got tricked into that way. Like 3 weeks ago, I got brainwormed by a TikTok of Legend, Ridley Scott's Legend, starring Tom Cruise. Not a good
Tom,
movie, not a
wait,
good movie, but visually awesome. So it
are
works
you
in
talking
like a
about the Ridley
TikTok.
Scott one?
Yes, yes, yes. Like the '85 fantasy movie.
Yes, Psych.
That's
They made a
a
lot of those
mess.
really weird '80s like fantasy movies, like Excalibur, that all look like kind of weird, never-ending story. That all have that really weird sheen to it, but are kind
Mm-hmm.
of cool to watch.
Yeah, it looks awesome on TikTok.
Did you see that clip of Tom Cruise at the Magic Johnson game, like charity game?
No, was this
People were
old
posting like
when he like played basketball?
this is like in the early '90s or something. It was while Magic was still playing,
Oh yeah,
and like it was just like Tom Cruise like just hooping with like a bandana on. It was kind
yeah.
of cool. All four of them. But yeah,
He's the
anyway,
man.
that's the episode. Again, we'll try for I think Novocaine and not going to do Electric State. I think we'll
What
pass
if
on that.
nothing
And
comes out? What comes out this weekend? Anything?
Opus came out kind of a dud.
This is probably a bad weekend with the tournament.
Yeah, because there's a ton that came out this last weekend. 2025.
The Alto Knights. Oh, and Snow White. We could do
Yo,
Snow
so
White.
yeah, I mean you beat me to it, but that's people are saying Snow White's not as bad as people thought it was going to be.
I wonder who's saying that.
It's a lot of agendas out there for sure with that with those two in particular. But I've seen like most people like the worst review I've seen of it is like, yeah, it's just more forgettable slop. But like I thought it was gonna be below that based off of the first few trailers that we saw.
It's that wig they got her in. It really, I just can't imagine moving past that at any point.
The wig
that,
or
that
the
goddamn
person.
wig that they put Rachel Zegler in.
Do you see the person
Why
that
did they
posted
do
that?
that?
Yeah, that Snow White's apparently not terrible, and also what was the other one you just mentioned?
Alto Knights, which has been getting
Alto
actually
Knights. I've
decent
also heard
reviews.
not the
I
worst
think.
movie.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go see
If I
that
had to
with
pick
Thunder
between
tomorrow.
the two, I'd rather see Alto Knights, but Snow White's probably going to be the one people want to hear about.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
I say more likely Snow White, maybe Alto Knights. But until then, we will see you guys next week.
See ya.